My family predicted I'd come crawling back within a month, but after 9 years, they demanded $3,800 for overdue mortgage payments and claimed I was their financial lifeline. I hadn't planned to share my story online, but seeing others post similar experiences inspired me to write it out. Maybe it'll help me process, or perhaps it'll resonate with someone else dealing with family drama. I'm not sure. Here's my story. My name is Keisha, and I'm 26 now. This all started when I was 17, a junior in high school. I was never the perfect child my parents envisioned. My dad worked at a factory and my mom was a front desk clerk. We weren't rich, but we got by in our small town. They had my life mapped out. Get top grades, attend the state college like dad, marry a nice local girl, have a couple of kids, and live their idea of the American dream. The issue? I hated school. Not because I wasn't capable, I could ace classes when I put in the effort, but I later learned I had undiagnosed ADH, which made sitting through endless lectures feel like punishment. I loved hands-on work, building and fixing things. At 15, I spent a summer helping our neighbor, Judah, rebuild his garage, and it was the first time I felt truly skilled. My parents? They loathed it. When I mentioned pursuing a trade like construction, Mom's face would tighten like I'd suggested becoming a dumpster diver. Dad would lecture me about wasting my potential, saying, "People like us don't do manual labor." In hindsight, I think they cared more about how my choices looked to others than what I wanted. They wanted a college-educated kid to brag about, not a blue-collar worker. Tensions brewed for months. I worked part-time at a hardware store after school, saving every penny because I sensed trouble coming. My grades slipped, not because I couldn't do the work, but because I stopped caring. Dinners turned into arguments about college applications, my future, and why I was throwing my life away. The final straw came in April, weeks before graduation. I'd been accepted to the state university, and my parents were nearly done with the paperwork. But I'd also applied to a trade school for construction. It was affordable, shorter, and focused on skills I loved. I got in with a partial scholarship based on a portfolio of my projects. I decided to tell them over dinner. Big mistake. When I brought up trade school, Dad slammed his fork down so hard it clattered off the plate. Mom started sobbing like I'd announced a terminal illness. The fight that followed was our worst ever. Dad called me ungrateful, saying I was spitting on their sacrifices. Mom kept repeating how disappointed she was, wondering where they'd gone wrong. When I tried explaining why the program excited me, Dad cut me off with words that still sting. "If you're too foolish to see the opportunity you're throwing away, maybe you're not the son we raised." I snapped. I shouted that I was tired of living for their dreams, that I was nearly an adult and could choose my own path, and that they never listened to me. This shorts can't handle this full story. Click the link in the description to see full story. You need to watch this.